In my last video, I gave you a tour of my apartment in Tulum. If you haven't seen it yet, then make sure to click the link above to go watch it. And now in this video, I'm going to share with you a couple of tips for finding your own apartment in Tulum. I'm also going to share with you how I found my current apartment. So if you're coming to Tulum and you're going to be staying here for a couple of months, then I hope you find this video useful. And if you do, then make sure to like the video and also subscribe to my channel. I plan on sharing more tips and more videos on things to do and living in Tulum.
So we're going to start on Airbnb. Airbnb is great if you're just looking for a place for a month or two. So you plug in your dates. Let's say you're staying November 1st to November 30. Location Tulum, search. I recommend filtering to make your results more accurate. So 1-bedroom apartment, if you're looking for 1-bedroom apartment, click 1 bed. And then property type apartment. And then search through the results again. So let's say you like the look of this one. Click through the photos, take a look. Looks pretty nice and blue. Go through the description, the space, and then finally the reviews. And if you like the look of it, then you can go ahead and reserve.
So what I like about Airbnb is that you get a monthly discount. So for example, here you get a 35% monthly discount. So it's definitely an incentive for choosing to stay on Airbnb for a month or longer if you choose to. Another thing you can do is book an Airbnb for a week or two. This will allow you to get more acquainted with your neighborhood. And then you can decide if you want to stay much longer or move to a different part of Tulum. It'll also help you decide if you want to extend your stay in your Airbnb for another week or another month, or to move into a different Airbnb. So that's the pro of staying in an Airbnb, is that you get to jump around from place to place without a commitment of a long-term lease, and you get to discover different neighborhoods and different parts of Tulum. The downside, however, is that it can be more expensive in the long run.
And so another option that I recommend you to try is using Facebook groups. And there are 2 Facebook groups I'm going to recommend for you. The first one is called Rentals in Tulum. And it's a private group though, so you have to request access to it first. And then once your membership is approved, you can go through the group and look for posts from people who are renting apartments, and then you can respond to them, or you can put up your own post announcing that you're looking for an apartment with details on your budget and what you're looking for specifically. A 1-bedroom, the studio, or 2-bedroom, for example. And so the second group that I recommend for you to join is called Expats and Locals in Tulum. And as the name suggests, it's made up of expats and locals living in Tulum. And in the group, you find posts on anything from people looking for recommendations on things to see and do in Tulum, restaurants to try, where to buy scooters, where to buy a car, and of course, people looking for apartments and people who have apartments to rent. So if you're looking for an apartment in Tulum, it's definitely a good place to go to. And if you don't speak Spanish, then you don't have to worry because most people in the group speak English. And so in my opinion, Facebook Marketplace is the best place to go to if you're looking for an apartment in Tulum. And if you've never been on Marketplace before, you start by clicking this little icon at the top of your homepage on Facebook, and then it will bring you to the Marketplace page. Next, you click Property Rentals, specify Tulum, and then click Apartments for Rent. And then to narrow down your search even more, you can filter down by entering the price. So let's say 15,000 pesos, by the way, not 15,000 US. So 15,000 pesos. So let's say you like this one, it's in your budget, 14,000. Take a look at the pictures. Looks pretty good. And then the description. So one thing to take note is that the description is going to be in Spanish, but if you don't speak Spanish, you can also hit translate over here and you'll see translation in English. And then if you like what you see, you can contact the seller here. And there's already a default message that Facebook has in the message box. So you can just click send.
And my tip here is that if you speak Spanish, then it's often best to write out your messages in Spanish rather than in English. That's because although a lot of people here can speak English, I found that if you speak in Spanish, people often respond to your messages much faster, and they'll share with you some tips and recommendations that they normally wouldn't do in English because it's not their first language. So even just a hola or a buenos dias really goes a long way. And you can even use Google Translate to help you craft some messages. Lastly, I want to share with you how I found my current apartment. So I visited Tulum about 2 years ago, and I really liked it. So when I came back this year in August 2020, I already had an idea of what the town was like. So I booked an Airbnb in La Valletta for 1 week. And when I decided I liked the neighborhood, I then went on to Facebook Marketplace and I hit up about 5 different realtors. And within 2 days, I saw 4 different apartments. And when I decided that I liked this place, to secure it for a 4-month lease, all I needed was a copy of my passport, first month's rent, which is 13,000 pesos, a deposit, which is also 13,000 pesos, as well as a reference from my most recent landlord, which in my case was my landlord in Mexico City, where I'd been living for 1 year before moving to Tulum. So in the end, I ended up finding an apartment in just 1 week. So it was a pretty quick and smooth process. And I hope it's the same for you. I've included links to all the places that I mentioned before in the description below. And also let me know if you have any questions. And if you end up finding a place using the tips I outlined, let me know in the comments below. And also, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'll be sharing more videos and more tips on living in Tulum.